Hey everybody, finally I get to review these movies because I finally saw them all and I'm seeing Fast X on Tuesday. I don't know if I'll get to finish all these reviews in time, but who knows? Yeah, this is my review on the first Fast and Furious movie, The Fast and the Furious. The title's pretty self-explanatory. So the plot of this movie is this cop named Brian O'Connor, played by Paul Walker, is sent to investigate this illegal street race, and which is led by Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel. And slowly he kind of starts to question his morality because he really starts to make friends with the whole racing crew, and he even falls in love with Dom's sister Mia, played by Jordana Brewster, and he kind of has a little debate on whether he feels like he's double crossing everybody or if he wants to stay with his remain his job as a cop or if he thinks he found some new friends or as that annoying meme when Fast 9 came out, if there is family. Yeah, this was a good movie. I thought it was a good start to the franchise. This is a very early 2000s movie. I mean, I know that's obvious, but like I don't like to say the word dated as I've said before because I think that's a kind of a stupid excuse to criticize something because I don't think anything is possible to be timeless. But like this movie's very early 2000s, like the way it's like just looks and how everyone's dressed, even a lot of the soundtrack. But I'm not saying that as a bad thing. Like that kind of makes it fun, and it really shows how long this franchise has been running. And it's just um, a simple action story. Like it's not focused on like crazy stunts and big missions like the new ones are now, which that's good. Like I like how the franchise really evaluates. This is more of like a down to earth, very early 2000s action movie, and it's kind of funny. I wonder if anybody back in 2001 would have ever known that this would become one of the biggest action movie franchises, heck, one of the biggest movie franchises ever. And it has a great cast. That's what all these movies have. They're full of really talented people. Paul Walker, who unfortunately is no longer with us. He died quite some time. Like what was it? Did he die like 10 years ago? I think. Very very sad what happened to him. Like I always thought what happened to him was tragic, but now that I've seen most of the movies, yeah, it's really sad. I It's really unfortunate, and you can tell he was enjoying himself here. Like he really liked this role, you can tell, and he works together with the cast great. Vin Diesel, who's pretty much the he's considered the main lead, given like he's always on the posters and such. But in the earlier movies, though, he's more the secondary character because Dom is more he's more like the guy who's very opposite of Brian. Like of course, he's not a cop, and he's doing something illegal, but he's the more tough, rebellious guy. And like Vin Diesel, like this was the movie that really made him a breakout star, and I can definitely see why. This is the kind of stuff like he likes. I mean, I know he was in stuff before this, like Saving Private Ryan and The Iron Giant, but this one really like made him a big star, and that's really and I really like it for that. Michelle Rodriguez, who I always love, she's very beautiful. This franchise has a lot of eye candy. Let me just say that there's lots of good-looking women in these movies, and like Michelle Rodriguez, like when I first saw this, like I didn't think that much of her, but when I saw Dungeons and Dragons, I was in love with her. Like she's very good looking, and Jordana Brewster as well. She's also very good looking. She does have a just wait. Just wait. Sorry, I had a battery warning. And yet she put is Dom's sister Mia, who's and like they have a lot of great scenes together, even with Brian, um, Paul Walker's character. Like they both have a lot of great moments together, and like everybody, all the cast in this movie, they have great chemistry together, and which makes sense because it's full of an ensemble cast. So there's supposed to be many characters, so of course they're going to work well together. And this one doesn't, like I said, it's not as insane as later installments. So This one's not very action focused. Most of it's just street racing. I mean, I guess that counts as action because car chases, I guess, are exciting, but it's still fun. It's very, like I said, it's really early 2000s esque, but like that's what makes it fun. Like it's a good start for the franchise. Like even if you're like me who's not into cars and like doesn't really get excited over like the different models and such. Like I'm not a car person, but you don't have to be. If you just like action movies or something just fun and cool, like this is a movie to check out. Like or even if you've never seen the Fast and Furious series, I think maybe watch this one and see maybe if you like it enough. I when I first saw this movie, I did like it enough to want to see the others, and I'm glad I caught up the series. So yeah, the Fast and the Furious, it's a really good uh, introduction to the series. It's kind of amazing how this little movie about just with a bunch of cars just managed to become one of the biggest cash cows in Hollywood ever. So, yeah, The Fast and the Furious, it's a fun movie. If you have I definitely recommend checking it out if you want to start the series. I mean, I'm sure with how popular they are, I'm sure most of you already seen these movies, but I think it's a fun time. So, yeah, that's my review of The Fast and the Furious. I don't know if I'll review every single movie in time, but hopefully I'll plan something out. So I'll see you when I review the next one. So later.